Hello and welcome in everybody to another episode here of the Solo Group Hardcore Ironman series. So what I have here to start off, I figured I would just throw this in the recording, and we've actually been doing a lot of Cerberus, so up to 550 kill count here as I just quickly gear up. And I do have some Keymaster teleports on me. So yeah, what I've been doing is the update to Shooting Stars has made it one of the most AFK mining XP, activities in the entire game now. So I'm just going to be mining stars while doing things like bossing and acquiring Zenites, all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of, what my plan is here is to just post up on 3 accounts with stars and then jump into Serb. So here I'll just demonstrate a bit of what I've been doing here to go for some primordial boots. So start off the kill, he does his triple attack. So you switch from mage to range to melee, summon a thrall for some extra DPS, and then in general you're just kind of just prayer flicking. It really helps save on the supplies here. He hits a max of 23, so you want to always stay high health. He can combo you with multiple auto attacks as well as his specials. So his special attacks involve summoning the 3 ghosts. They come out in a red, blue, and green color in any random pattern. So you have to pray from left to right the correct styles. So he should be summoning that soon. Now I'd really like to hold the 1 tick pray flicking at around 65 or more prayer points, because every ghost that you pray correctly will drain 30 of your prayer no matter what. So if I'm above 65-ish, then I should have enough with, just some residual draining over time to be able to. The first one, brings you down to like 35, and then the second one down to about 5, as long as you have at least 1 prayer point. But obviously, with Pray Mage and Piety activated, I don't want that to accidentally go down to 0, because then the third ghost would hit me. So yeah, that's part of the kill, and then he also can combo that with summoning lava pools underneath your feet, and basically you just have to move aside to dodge them. They do an initial hit of damage once he summons them, so if you can predict when he's going to summon the lava pools, you can avoid all damage, but it's very random where he summons them, so you usually get hit for a little bit of chip damage. But in general, you just want to make sure that you don't stand in them for too long. So I have my teleport crystal set to 4 seconds here, which means if I were to disconnect in about 4 seconds of inactivity, the crystal will automatically telling me out to safety. So despite being on 1 life, I am able to risk this. Taking a bit of damage there because I missed the prayer on one of the ghosts, but I intended on KOing him there, but it didn't actually happen, so had to just eat that last wave of ghosts. Now he does drop Infernal Ashes every single kill, so that's great for just banking for the prayer. And his normal drops are pretty decent. He's dropped me over 350 Wines of Zamorak, so that'll be great for range pots. And in general, all his other drops like Death Runes, Soul Runes. He drops supply drops to help you stay a little bit longer trips. And they're all generally pretty decent. He's got a lot of health, 600 health for a boss. It's a lot of chugging away. Now, obviously, the gear of choice is the Arc Light for this boss. I think the only better option is really the Scythe. So if you're an Ironman, you're probably going to want to use the Arclight. Arclight doesn't have too many useful places anymore now with the Fang existing, so I try to make use of the Arclight charges when I can. 97 Slayer. I had over probably 150 ancient shards banked, and get that crystal Hallian. So yeah, I had about 150 ancient shards banked, which is a lot of charges for the Arclight. Takes about 3 shards for 1,000 swipes. So you can imagine that's quite a few tens of thousands of charges there. You do want it on stab, even though it looks kind of strange to be stabbing with the Arclight. You're used to seeing it in slash mode. It is slightly higher DPS just because Cerberus has a very, very high slash defense and not a very high stab defense. So even though the Arclight is better as a slash weapon, it is just better to use what the monster is usually weak to. Okay, summoning more ghosts. And I kind of sound a little bit fragmented because this takes a lot of focus. It's a lot of running around, dodging, and making sure my supplies are properly kept up to date. I need to always be drinking more prayer pots, eating food. You constantly take damage and rapidly lose prayer during the ghost attack. So there's the star layer has gone down, and we're going to be preying on these ghosts. And that's another kill. So no way! Prime Crystal! Yes! Primordial Boots number 2! I already have one, and that's number 2. Oh, that's what we're after. That's what we're after. Alright, this is all worth it. So yeah, just right back into the kills. I'm definitely very, very happy with that one. It's like, what, 30 mil-ish? That's beautiful to see. You love to see it. Getting a couple grats in the CC there. Yeah, holy crap. So speaking of, yeah, let's continue talking about why I'm here. I'm here because, well, I got 4 accounts, and it would be excellent to gear them all up with upgraded boots, right? So there's the Eternal Crystal, which upgrades your Wizard boot, or sorry, it's Infinity boots into Eternals. You have the Pegasian Crystal, upgrades Ranger boots into Pegasian boots, and then you have what you just saw there, the Primordial Crystal. Live on cam, just decided to record some of these trips here for no particular reason, and fortunately it was one of the trips that we got lucky again. So I actually got my first Primordial Crystal around 100 KC. I actually have 3. Oh, we gotta watch out here. So I wasn't paying attention there, and the ghosts come out. But usually I see the Aru above his head there, but you do have to watch. Luckily I'm paying attention to seeing the ghosts there. But yeah, the this upgrade onto a pair of dragon boots will be absolutely insane to just have for God Wars, all kinds of stuff, right? Slayer, just everything, like bossing, raiding, whatever I do. Now I have had the first pair. I'm already using them. However, I will take dupes for things just like Slayer and group bossing, such as God Wars. So that'll be excellent to have in Zammy and Bandos, and maybe even Sarah. We'll see. We'll see. Just in general, having them to slay with is an excellent, upgrade. They do offer 1 strength bonus higher and some accuracy bonuses, as well as higher defense. Just in general, it's only a good upgrade. So always, always going to be upgrading your dragon boots once you get that crystal. And yeah, that's the second pair unlock. So obviously, it would be interesting to go for 4 pairs, but we get what we get, right? If I only come out of this with 2 or 3 pairs and I end up going to Bandos, then we only go to Bandos with 2 or 3. But yeah, currently I'm taking advantage of the fact that stars are extremely AFK, so it allows me to get pretty good mining XP per hour with very, very little effort. And you are stacking stardust while mining stars, so that can be used to purchase soft clay, which I use for house tabs, and gem packs. Apparently, people they're saying that even irons are getting tons of crafting XP banked from just chilling on star mining, because then you can buy uncut gem packs and then just chisel the gems later for crafting XP. So that's probably a pretty decent way to get rubies. I know that diamonds are a bit rarer from those things, but I I'm more interested in just AFK mining and then the potential of stacking more chill bank standing crafting XP with the gems. So, and what it does is it allows me to go on PVM adventures without worrying about, oh, I need to like log out of my other three accounts, because there's nothing like super efficient for me to do. Now I could, you could do sand crabs, you could find something AFK like wood cutting, fishing, but eventually some of those things just you kind of get like tired out of them, or not tired, more just I've done enough of it, right? Like I have enough fish. What I need to do is like herb lore. I'm running low on super combats and whatnot, and my highest herb lorist is 88, so I still need a boost, but I do have tons of herbs here. I obviously have hundreds and thousands of these herbs, and that's just one account's worth. So I could just drop them, I could transfer them all over. I have tons of prayer pots waiting to be made. But yeah, right now, 1k super strength, 1k super attack there, ready to be made. 1k super def here, so yeah, I can easily make like 1,000 super combats and several thousand prayer pots, but I just need to go and actually put that time in, because right now, like, I'm just trying to make use of this AFK ability of star mining. So yeah, wow, there you go. I have two duplicate eternal crystals. So my Cerb log is actually nuts. So let me open the Cerb log here. That's pretty insane. So obviously we want primordials, but I've already had 3 eternal and 3 Pegasian crystals in just 550 kill count. Just getting our second primordial there makes me very, very happy with that drop. Because until then I only had 1, and that was about on rate at 500 something, as well as having 3 Pegasian and 3 Eternal. I'm like, dang, I sniped 3 of the two kinds that I don't really want many dupes of. Because let's be honest, I'm not gonna need to get 4 sets of Pegasians, so there's no way I'm gonna do medium clues for 4 Ranger Boots sets. That would be pretty wild, but it might happen. Maybe I'll snipe Ranger Boots, but until then, the Pegasians will just kind of sit here as 3 crystals until I get some boots for it. So, but yeah, the other boots, that's a huge upgrade. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep sending Cerberus while mining stars. So, that was a bit of the insight on some of my kills. My spec weapon of choice is Crystal Halley. I think it's one of the best techniques to utilize there, because what happens is he'll summon ghosts, which will drain up to 90 prayer points, which is a massive prayer sink. That's why this boss drains a ton of supplies. He summons them at about halfway through the kill, so if the kill takes a little bit too long, he can summon a second round of them, and usually this happens. So what happens is when he's about 100 HP or lower, he does the Aru attack where he starts summoning ghosts, and you get about 2 or 3 more hits in before they actually start to damage you. So you can get 1 more arc light in, and then what I do is I try to switch to the Crystal Halley and jump a big spec, because if that can KO the boss, then it removes the ghost's attacks from occurring. So that's a great way to skip the ghosts and save a ton of supplies there if you can manage to pull it off. And I have actually had pretty good success in doing so. I usually can pull it off. Sometimes the Crystal Halley noodles, and that just happens. I think in one of the kills just there on footage, I was just kind of arc lighting a couple of low hits when he was only on like 50 HP. So you can always noodle, you can always low roll on the Halley, but in general, it can go pretty ham. Oh, looks like this guy's taking that spot. But yeah, I will be tuning back in maybe after this task or doing something else just to kind of go over the main topics for the video. I just wanted to demonstrate some of the Cerberus action there. So we are in between here, our Cerb tasks right now. Just thought I'd do these Dagonoths. They're just too easy to skip. With the Bone Crusher and whatnot, I can just chill here, get some XP. I've been slowly working through my Slayer points, skipping for Hellhound and Black Demon tasks. Interestingly enough, I have not gotten a single Black Demon task, and that is about my fourth or so Cerb task. So I've gotten 4 Hellhound tasks amongst skipping dozens of other various tasks in between. I think it says here I have a total of almost 5,000 points, so 4,900 left. And I believe I was over 6K when I started skipping for Cerb. So the whole skipping began this weekend, basically, whenever shooting stars were, insanely AFK to do. So I decided, yeah, those were the plans. Was I'm gonna abuse the shooting stars while they last because I do believe they will get nerfed. It's not gonna be immediate because Jagex says they're watching over, they're monitoring it, whatever the case is. But there's no way that this is gonna stay this way. I've just been getting passively, approaching 99 mining, obviously still like in the 80s, but just the fact that it's very, very AFK and passive over time, it's perfect for the nature of my 4 accounts because I need something to throw these guys on the back burner while I can do something that's more attention requiring, like Cerberus, or demonic gorillas. Um, yeah, just currently in between slay tasks right now. I just finished a Cerb task. It looks like I'm up to 726 Cerberus kill count. So that's getting pretty up there. I've gotten 2 primordials, which is massive. I would have been happy with 1. Would have been happy, with anything, but we managed to get 2. So I do have them on my character now. I'm wearing. So this is pretty much the max strength gear. Could obviously use like ferocious gloves and an amulet of torture, but the torture is actually a downgrade in prayer. So I do not mind using a fury for something like this where I'm just praying 24/7 here. And yeah, ferocious gloves not going to be on the radar anytime soon. You need some pretty powerful weapons to kill Hydra, either a Tivo or a Bofa. I just don't really feel like going in there with a rune crossbow, so we'll have to see. Maybe I can get something, from like Armadil or something, or maybe there's something from Sarah, the ACB, or just getting Armadil armor would help, or yeah, maybe we'll have to wait till after some corrupted gauntlet if I can ever snipe a Bofa. But yeah, this is kind of just the fully kitted out Slayer gear here. I like the combo of the defense cape with the Berserker ring. That's opposed to the fire cape and a ring of life. So I'm always wearing that ring of life effect on my defense cape. But I have the +8 strength from the Berserker ring. That's actually a better combo than 4 strength from the fire cape and a ring of life, which gives you no stats at all. So I really like this combo because, again, yeah, the defense cape trimmed giving that +4 prayer bonus as well as some good defensive stats. So it's definitely better than Fire Cape Ring of Life combo. And yeah, this account's getting pretty beefy. I got a lot of attack XP, got a lot of Slayer XP from the Cerberus. And yeah, I've just been skipping, hoping for demonic gorilla tasks as well, which would be black demons. It's weird because they're high weight and I have not gotten any of them yet. I removed them from my block list and I put something else on the block list. I put elves on there, but I think that was a bit poor planned. I think if I was gonna spend 1,000 or 2,000 Slayer points, which I'm currently doing, on skipping things like abyssal demons, even I should have blocked that instead. Maybe even reworked some of my other tasks that are blocked, like iron dragons are only like a low weight task. So maybe I should have blocked like worms instead, and because worms and abyssal demons are very high weighted, so that probably would have been worth it. The 100 points, remove a block, put a new one on for 100 points. Would have cost what, 200 points to block abyssal demons and worms, but then I wouldn't have to spend 30 skipping them as much because I would just get to that Hellhound task a little bit faster due to the fact that I've eliminated one of the higher weight options that Durdell can assign. But that's kind of what Slayer points are for. Like this is what I've sort of decided is the best way to utilize having 6,000 surplus points. Like there's nothing I can buy. There's nothing I can unlock. There's nothing I can extend anymore. At this point, these points are simply reserved for skipping tasks that I don't want to do. And right now, if Jagex were to nerf star mining in, say, a week from now, then I would have regretted not using my 6k surplus of Slayer points to get demonic gorillas and Cerberus and try to knock out some Zenites and some primordial boots, because I wasted that opportunity. And now I just, okay, yeah, maybe I still have my 6k Slayer points, but what am I going to do? Then I could spend them skipping for Cerb tasks and all that stuff, but I don't have anything chill to do AFK on the other 3 accounts. So you got to really think of the grand scheme here, especially when you're playing, four accounts in a group iron together. There's a lot of planning that goes into it, and that's definitely the current plan right now, is to try and complete 4 primordial crystals. So I do have 2. I got 4 Pegasian crystals, so I guess I'm done with Pegasians if I were to ever get 4 ranger boots, or any for that matter. Just even having 1 would be nice. Let's see, what else did I get? I got 3 eternal boots, so that's actually nice because I have 4 infinity boots already finished on all 4 accounts. So every account has done Bones to Peaches and infinity boots, and one of the accounts I did the full Master Wand grind. So that's actually what I'm going to start getting into, is what else I've done besides just skipping for Cerb and whatnot. I actually last week, after the last video for last week, I did start to finish a couple of quality of life upgrades, and one of them is the Master Wand. So it's not really a big deal. Literally the one reason, so I have 2 main reasons why I wanted the Master Wand. Well, one is obvious because it's the only way you can make the Kodai wand if you get a Kodai insignia from Raids 1. Now obviously that's very long term. I'm not saying that's going to happen overnight, but just to have it and say, okay, it's done with, so if I ever get a Kodai, it means I can just immediately make it, is nice. Another little side reason is that it is just good mage XP there, so I did get a few 100,000 mage XP. The alchemy room is really nice. The enchanter room is pretty AFK and decent XP. Bones to Peach spell, you cast that in the graveyard room, you're getting XP, and telekinetic room, you get some meh XP. It's really not that great, but you do get like a little 1k bonus every 5 mazes that you complete in the telekinetic room. So, Mage Training Arena, very happy to be basically completed with that, having gotten all four accounts, Bones of Peach and Infinity Boots, so I can make 3 Eternal Boots now with my 3 Eternal Crystals. Already made one, obviously, and if I ever decide to use those for like Kraken tasks or whatnot. And then the other reason to get the Master Wand was um, wands, well, rather staffs, because it's basically just a one-handed staff, right, in your weapon slot. All staves and wands and such, they give obviously magic accuracy, right, and allow you to auto cast spells. But what people don't realize is, and this goes all the way back to the Castle Wars meta of ages ago, is that the best way to do like Castle Wars, which is capture the flag, was to not get frozen. And the best way to not get frozen was to have a high magic defense. So what you would actually wear to run to the opposing castle to take their flag is you would wear full Carols or full Armadil. Obviously, those ranged armors have the highest mage defense bonuses in the game. And what you would also wear would be, you would wear a mage's book in your offhand and you would wear a master wand. And you're like, well, why are you wearing a mage's book and a master wand? Isn't there some type of ranged weapon or gear that is better for magic defense? And the answer is no. Actually, those magic offensive items like the master wand and the mage's book, they give a high mage accuracy, but they also give that same amount into mage defense. So they actually have the single most highest amount of magic defense as well. So I used to do this years and years ago whenever, Castle Wars was fun back in the day. This is maybe back in the RS2 days. And what you would do is I would take full Carols, a Master Wand, and a Mage's Book, and you'd try to run into the opposing castle to take the flag, because they would try to cast Ice Barrage on you and Tangle, whatever, all their magic to freeze you, to stop you from running freely with the flag. And it didn't work as well, because if you just had an insane amount of magic defense, you were less likely to get frozen. So this comes back to explain why I went for the Master Wand. It was for the magical defense as well. And that simply came down to a Kraken combat achievement where I was going to be auto casting Ancients for blood spells, so that you can do the 100 kills in a single trip there. You can easily do that just auto casting Blood Barrage or Blood Blitz. So yeah, you could just use the Ancient Staff, but I'm like, well, the Master Wand gives a little bit higher magic offense and defense, actually, so it's mostly for the defensive bonus there, in absorbing a lot more of the Kraken's defense, because I chewed through probably close to 6k death runes just auto-casting blood spells. So what my plan is maybe to use the Trident of the Swamp there, and then whenever I get to like 70 or something HP, then start auto-casting with Blood Barrage, just to save a little bit on the death runes and get a little bit higher DPS from the Swamp Trident, not chew through as many death runes. So really kind of a weird reasoning why you would need to grind out a Master Wand. But again, it's really ultimately for the Kodai and just some Mage XP. So it's nice to have that done. I really want to get some Demonic Gorilla tasks and start getting some Zenites. If I can get a Zenite, I think I will make a Ring of Suffering first, or an Anguish. It's definitely going to be one of those two. I've already kind of gone over why I think that the Fury is just kind of good enough. You get 15 to all defensive bonuses, as well as 3 additional prayer, and so you lose 15 to all defense stats, including magic, which is massive, magic and range defense, and you lose 3 prayer bonus going to the torture. Now you do gain +5 offensives, so you gain +5 slash, stab, crush, which makes your tent whip at bandos hit better. So yeah, and it's 2 strength bonus higher. So yeah, it is better for an attacker in bandos, but none of my accounts can just be dedicated attackers, right? They're all tanking minions. They're all potentially at risk to just taking chip damage from the mage minion and whatnot. So even though I will have some pretty nice gear wearing like a Varric skirt or tank legs with a Carol's top, I would not really enjoy downgrading my Fury's defensive bonus because that plus 15 mage defense really just helps survive, and as well as the the melee defenses from the Fury, and 3 prayer bonus will allow me to survive as the attacker rolls for my 3 non-tank accounts in Bandos and Zami to survive those minion attacks, so that they are less needed to be paid attention to, and I can just focus on my tank account, because again, one account will just be tanking Gardor himself, and I need to be fully focused whenever he hits 35s with the ranged attack, as well as some minions can combo for like up to 30 damage combined. So need to be willing to eat through 70 damage worth of hits all at once, so I will be constantly using anglerfish and combo eats and brewing up to make sure that my tank can survive there. So that's definitely my first Zenites will probably go to an anguish or a suffering for that reason. The Tormented Brace is great for any type of barraging. It's great for the Olm hand, the mage side of Olm hand, and it would be good for Kraken tasks. But I'm not really going to worry. Most of the barrage tasks I do, I use Bracelets of Slaughter, so I don't want to be switching in and out between that because I would get a lot of missed procs on my bracelets due to the fact that I'm alting this many accounts. I would easily not be able to keep up with that. Switching back and forth, I like to just lure all the Room of Necryls or Dust Devils, and then just auto cast with auto retaliate on barrage. So that's not needed. Kraken, I don't plan on doing Kraken forever. I'm just kind of using it until I'm 99 mage. Once I'm 99 mage, I will definitely block them. So I don't really need it there. And right now I have no plans to enter raids 1 yet because I need some better gear. I need like a blowpipe at minimum to be able to do some serious range DPS in that raid. So yeah, definitely going to be making an Anguish. The Anguish would be nice for Basilisk Knight tasks that I get, as well as maybe Demonic Gorillas. So I could take it for a Demonic Gorilla swap. I could take it to Zulrah. I could wear it at Basilisk. I could use it in raids. So it has a lot of uses, mostly these long Basilisk Knight tasks. It would be nice over the Fury. I lose a little bit of prey bonus, but I think just the range accuracy and then that +5 range strength is really, really good for the rune crossbow with broad bolts, because it's gonna potentially give me 2 max hits. It's gonna give me at least 1. So just any range damage you can get there means those tasks just go a little bit quicker. And then Rings of Suffering. Oh, and also Armadyl. I could use that for Armadyl too, the Anguish. But then Rings of Suffering would be excellent to have 4 of, because God Wars, it's the single best tank ring. So even if you're an attacker role, it's really, really nice to just have +20 to literally all defensive bonuses, and that includes magic and range. So what I would want to do is, if I make a Suffering, I'll put it on this account because it can double as a strong Zulrah ring as well. A lot of people will use it for Zulrah because it has an infinitely chargeable recoil ring effect. So you can just stack thousands of recoil charges into the ring. And then at Zulrah, the snakes, when you're killing the snakes with the recoil effect, you don't have to worry about having to equip a new ring of recoil because it doesn't break after 40. You just have that permanent recoil effect going based on how many charges you put into it. So when I go back to do Zulrah, I would love to have a Ring of Suffering, and that's why I'm also really hoping to get at least a Zenite for that, get a Suffering going, and that way I can return to Zulrah with a lot better of a quality of life there in the gear. And yeah, that's kind of like, that's the plan for the Zenites. if I get multiple Zenites, I would go for an Anguish second because I can always just wear Berserker rings on my 3 Bandos alts, the 3 Bandos attacker rolls. It would be nice to have +8 strength. And then after one Anguish and the Suffering for my main God Wars tank, then I will probably go for a Torture and then secondary and third Ring of Sufferings for the alt accounts, because when I do things like Armadil, I think Armadil is the best example, is that you really just want high defensive stats across the board, and the 4 prayer from imbuing it is really nice as well, so you can't really undermine that as well. Besides MTA and planning to get Zenites and the Cerberus crystals, I have been slowly working on finishing Tithe. So by finishing Tithe, I really only need seed boxes for just like any Slayer tasks that drop seeds. It's a really nice quality of life, as well as Thieving Master Farmer. So I might come to a point where I'm PVMing and I'm running out of prey pots. For example, I just used 400 or 500 or more prayer pots getting this 700 Serb kill count. I'm literally out of prayer pots. Obviously, I can make probably another 1,000 or so just on this account alone, but when you start doing Cerberus and you start doing Basilisk Knights, you really realize how thin your prayer potions will start to run. So I need to be able to upkeep them. Master Farmer is great to thieve for the Ranter seeds. You get 2 every time because you are wearing the Rogue's outfit. So looks like that star just poofed on me. I thought I had quite a while left with it. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a big star. That's like a tier 8 or something. That's really nice. Gonna be some nice XP there. Let's separate my guys here just so that I can see. Oh my god, there's so many people underneath. The star mining truly is extremely populated. For a good reason. This is just the best mining XP you can get like in the game right now because it's so AFK. You click once and you come back with like 10,000 mining XP. So, but anyway, yeah. Master Farmer, the plans are to have a C box on each account, as well as using it for like Kurask tasks. I think Kurasks and its Aberrant Specters, I believe, are 2 tasks that drop a lot of seeds, and you might not have the space because I use food on those tasks. So I might go with a full inventory of Karambwan, and I might get like a couple seed drops right off the bat, and definitely with Kurasks because you're so tanky from their melee hits. You might not take enough damage to have to eat food to be able to have the space, especially because they drop other useful noted items like coconuts, papaya, white berries, and cash drops from Alks. So it would be really nice to have that combo of the seed box and the herb sack. That way that just can hold all the seeds and herbs you get from those types of tasks. So I've been slowly working on tithe points. I got a second seed box. So originally I only had 1 seed box on one account, and he was like my dedicated master farmer thiever to get birdhouse seeds. But I don't need to do as much master farmer because the update allowing all the allotment seeds like potato, onion, cabbage, all that stuff, as well as the hop seeds, can now be used for birdhouses. You end up just getting way too many birdhouse seeds that you ever could use in a very short amount of time. So I was easily able to fuel all the other 3 accounts just from one person thieving master farmer with the seed box. It's really nice to have for master farmer because when you thieve and get your inventory full of seeds, the seed box can hold 6 different types of seeds, so you can put 6 of the most common in there. And although it only holds 6 different types of seeds, that saves you 5 inventory slots, and they do not have a capacity limit. So that means you can just stack them up to tens of thousands in there, and the seeds go directly in there, which is really nice as long as your seed box is open. So you just right click, open it, So that's a really nice quality of life there. It saves you 5 inventory spaces because there are so many different types of seeds you can get from him. It's a nice quality of life to have to drop the more uncommon ones, less frequently. That way, you're just sort of spam clicking, and especially whenever your thieving rate becomes very, very a high success rate at higher thieving levels, it's very nice to just have that quality of life to just keep spam clicking, not have to worry about the inventory management as well. So yeah, I believe I mentioned, but I've been slowly trying to chip away at some combat achievements. I mentioned this in the last video that I did some of the Thermi boss CAs. So they're pretty easy. You just have to do some cheese strats like go in with a crystal halberd and spec him 3 times, telly out, recharge spec at your house pull, and then run back. And hopefully nobody crashes you because he should be well below half, and the next 3 specs you bring in should kill him. He doesn't actually regen any health whenever you run to the bank, so a lot of people will just get claw specs, claw him, do 1 kill, and then telly to the bank and recharge spec and health because he can only do so much damage to you whenever you just do the spec dump and then finish the kill and run because he's pretty much dead after the double claw spec. And that way Thermi becomes like a zero supply method. You just need to keep teleporting to your house and using your POH pull. So I finished all of those CAs. I did all the Cerberus combat achievements as well. They're actually pretty simple. The hardest one's probably just the 150 kill count. So whenever I'm 91 plus Slayer on the other 3 accounts, I will also just go and knock out 150 Cerb kill count. There's only 6 CAs that are with Cerb, and they're all pretty simple. They're just basic mechanics of doing Cerb, so there's nothing crazy you have to do above and beyond or out of the norm. You just do normal Cerb kills, and they will passively come. So it's mostly just getting that 150 kill count, and then that would be 6 out of 6 for all 4 of the accounts there. And when they get 93 Slayer, I can go do the Thermi ones as well. So that's some of the plans to just finish out some CAs, try to get that hard unlock tier done. The hard combat achievement tier unlocks is really nice. It gives you a little bit more cannonballs in your cannon. And it would lower the God Wars dungeon kill count. So before even entering God Wars, if I could get that, that would be nice to have to only do like 30 or 35 goblins and imps as opposed to 40. Since I'm doing this on 4 accounts, that's a lot of goblins, that's a lot of kill count to have to get, and my trips, they're not going to be infinite because it's going to be difficult to manage supplies constantly in there on all 4 accounts. So I will need to do multiple trips for each boss. I'm not going to just be going in and getting the full sets in one trip. But I'll go as long as I can in each trip, and then if I have to telly out because I don't have any more anglers to overheal or whatever, bruise or super pots, maybe I run out of super combats, who really knows? I'm going to be staying high HP with anglers and high prayer with super restores and high HP with anglers and the bruise. So if I run out of bruise or I run out of anglerfish, I can easily just bank, bring all 4 accounts back, and then with the lower kill count requirement from having hard combat achievement tier unlocked, it would just be a nice quality of life. So I'm always happy to do CAs where possible. I think CAs on a hardcore Ironman are definitely pretty prestigious to have done, especially group hardcore accounts where everything is unsafe. And yeah, besides that, just continuing the Slayer and really hoping for the Imbued Heart. Imbued Heart would be insane. I would take it to probably even God Wars, like stuff like Armadillo and Bandos. If you're the tank, you're just mercilessly getting hit by the mage minion, and Armadillo, you're always being hit by the boss who uses mage as well as the mage minion. So heart boosting yourself up for free every couple kills. It might just mean that I take less damage at like Armadillo or something, but in general, it's also just great for Kraken, and it's excellent at Zulrah. So I would love to snipe an Imbued Heart. I am over 97 Slayer on one account, 89 on this guy, 87 here, and 90 here. So the fact that I haven't gotten a heart yet means I'm going a little bit over rate at this point. But, what can you do? I think I'm like over 30 to 35 mil Slayer XP combined. And the rate's probably like 1 in 20 mil Slayer XP as long as you have most of these superior tasks available and extended, which I do. I definitely prioritize all of those tasks. So, but yeah, I think the star hype is kind of fading away. Like, obviously, want to keep mining stars, but now that I'm back to Slay, if I get like Dagonos or maybe even like Greater Demons or just some chill AFK task that I don't want to waste points skipping, or maybe I get Abyssal Demons, Necreals, Dust Devils, or Gargoyles, Kurask. Those are just excellent tasks for supplies and XP. So I might stop skipping them. I wasted over 1,000 Slayer points skipping to get Hellhounds again because I've just been enjoying the Cerb. Knocked out a ton of KC, but now that I'm realizing, well, stars might be around for a while, I'm gonna stop just skipping endlessly. I might just start doing my Abyssal Demon tasks because I have the Ash spell, so that would be great. Necreals, I want to barrage and work towards 99 Mage. Speaking of, I'm 97, just hit that, or sorry, 96, just hit that today. Casting Thrall, Summon Thrall, I'm actually getting a lot of XP there in Mage from casting Thralls so much because I'm doing my Cerb tasks with Thralls. So I actually leveled up there to 96. But yeah, Barrage tasks, a million XP to 97 left. So I need to stop skipping Barrage tasks and just work on 99 Mage so I have that cape to get the free spellbook swaps a day because running to the various altars is a very time consuming thing. So that's one of my goals currently as I continue to grind for the Imbued Heart. So what I might do is like see how I have a Dagonoth task. If I go get a Greater Demon task, I'm not going to skip it. I'm just going to do it. Abyssal Demons, Gargoyles, I'll just go do it. While I'm doing that, I'm going to take one of these Star Miners and I'm going to begin slaying on him. And so I think the top left account is going to be the candidate. Currently, he's on a Greater Demon task, so I will just go resume that, finish that, put on my second pair of Primordial Boots because I got a second Primordial Crystal. And just with that, better gear, better strength bonus, be able to just continue Slayer with 2 accounts. And do Slayer with 2 accounts at one time because I could actually stop doing Cerb. I don't need, say, 4 Primordials to do or to do God Wars. Like, it would just be a luxury to get that added attack bonus and strength bonus as well as some defense for Garter. But I already have one pair to wear for my tank and a second pair so that I can do 2 accounts using Primordial Boots for Slay Grind at a time. And because I realized doing Slayer on 3 accounts at once is a bit too cumbersome. It just requires too much attention, so if I get like Necreals or Dust Devils, I have to constantly switch to darts to aggro more and then stack them by running back and forth between the stack. It's not very feasible to do that across more than 2 accounts, so I really need to park one account on like an AFK slate task while the other one can do something that's a bit more tedious, like bursting tasks. So I've decided I'm only going to be doing Slayer on at most 2 accounts at once, and then just some skilling on the other 2, like gathering supplies. Currently, it'd be nice to go gather anglerfish or do some like master farmer thieving for Ranner seeds. So maybe when I'm not mining stars, or if this hype ever dies down or they nerf them, then that's what I would go do. But yeah, so that's the plan, is to just get back to Slayer, stop wasting a ton of points on skipping the best tasks in the game. So I'm actually kind of happy that I chose to block elves instead of the black demons that I had blocked. I could have blocked a 12 weighted task, so the highest weight Gyarados has is 12, which is Abyssal Demons. But Abyssal Demons are one of the best tasks for me because they're insane prayer XP with the Ash spell. And I worked so hard to get that spell unlocked by having Dragon Slayer 2 done and crafting Wrath runes from 95 Runecraft. So all that work I put into, I don't want to just skip the best task for my account progression wise. So I will be doing those tasks, and I will be doing any other good tasks in between, like gargoyles. I'll stop skipping. So that's kind of the plans right now. I'm just going to be continuing the slay grind, hoping for that imbued heart, hoping for the remaining primordial crystals, as well as hoping for black demons here. So let's see what we get here. If we could snipe some demonic gorillas, I would just immediately go do that. If we get another Hellhound task, I would be glad to go do that as well. I just need to make some prayer pots, and I would be totally fine doing that. Been using the arc light, so I'm glad that I found a good use for all these arc light charges I've been stacking up. See, there you go, 242 Abbey Demons. So I'm already on the Arceus spellbook, so I'm not even going to worry about switching spellbooks. Just going to go restore my stats here and fill the gear up for that. So the way I do these is I will wear Proselyte because I just pray the whole time. I do kind of need pray pots for it. Yep, see, I'm down to 0 pray pots, so maybe I'll just use some super restores or something until I make them. But I do have a ton here to make, so let's see if I have these amulets in my bank. I believe I do. Amulet of Chemistry. There we go. So let's pull some of these out. Can actually use Amulets of Chemistry to make these. And we'll set X to 14 and 14 and then go ham here. So probably going to whip up some prey pots, go send this Abbey Demon task, and then continue slaying some greater demons on a different account so I can get back into the slay groove. I'll keep parking the other two mining stars until, you know, I can get some better tasks like demonic gorillas, because those are going to require more focus. So then I'll just be putting all 3 back to the stars. And, you know, having my escape crystal on 4 seconds means that if I DC it all, so if my power goes out or I drop internet randomly, I can be pretty confident that even though it's storming outside, I can still do these bosses, still go for these dangerous activities. Having only 1 life remaining, I need to keep that in mind. I need to make sure I have that teleport crystal enabled. But with having it that low on 4 seconds to activate, if you look away, if you're managing a Slayer task, say I'm doing Abyssal Demons on the side, I can't be constantly picking up the Abyssal Ashes and stuff and using the Ash spell on a second account while I'm doing Demonic Gorillas, because then you stop paying attention and then 5 seconds goes by and then your teleport crystal activates accidentally when you didn't want it to. So that's 75k cash down the drain, which is not good. That is very, very not fun to just burn. Plus you've just been teleported out from the activity you want to be at. So you definitely don't want that to happen. I've had that happen before. I've explained it in previous videos, and it is just a huge waste of money and time. So I need to park the accounts and not be able to put any attention into them so that my teleport crystal does not accidentally proc. As well as that I don't die. I need to pay attention and stay high health and constantly pray correctly so that my supplies don't just get destroyed at Cerb and demonic gorillas, because those places can do a lot of damage to you in a short amount of time. So anyway, that is going to kind of wrap up the video for today. Just wanted to go into detail on what the current Slayer plans are as I start working in boss tasks like Cerberus and working for those, you know, demi-boss drops like demonic gorillas and Basilisk Knights. I think Basilisk Knights for a jaw would be excellent, as well as getting my first 1 or 2 Zenites. If I can just get even 1 Zenite, that would be excellent. Already got 2 primordial boots, so Honestly, if I don't get anything else from Serb for a long time, I'm still kind of satisfied there. I might stop altogether if I run out of like prayer pots or something, but honestly, the Serb has been treating me well. I have over 500 wines of Zami from Serb. So that is great because I was really running low on range pots because of Basilisk Knight tasks and using them at Zulrah. I don't want to have to telegrab wines of Zami because that's a really tedious process. So excellent to have those from the Serb grind. So I will be continuing to do Serb whenever possible. And having 400 or 500 range pots now for things like Devotic Gorillas and Basilisk Knights is going to be very luxurious. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. That's going to wrap the rest of the video up. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. And I will catch you on the next video.